Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to talk about something that is often overlooked, almost never talked about in the most prepper manuals and videos, and that is basic hygiene in the field and also doing the laundry in the field. So during a bug out scenario, how do you keep yourself clean, healthy, hygienic? So that's something that is often overlooked, and it's kind of boring, but everyone who has been in the army, this is basic standard hygiene practices if you're going on a BVAC. So yeah, but before we start, if you're interested in detective stories, look in the description. It's the first part of an 11-part series that I wrote. It's called Bloody Crosses. It's in Dutch. If you're interested, the links will be down below. So basic hygiene. There is a way to make basic hygiene very practical, fast, and not that cumbersome as one would think. And the most important thing is you need to work from top to bottom to get things clean in a way that is also more handier. As you noticed, I spread out my rain poncho because I'm going to show you the hygiene and laundry, how you can do it in the field during a bug out with my regular bug out bag. So I will first tell you what I have here all that will be used, and that is actually, like I said, like I always said in my videos, I always love things that are multifunctional. The rain poncho that is opened out is necessary for sitting on the without getting dirty again by sitting on dirty ground, leaves in the forest, and all that stuff that would get you dirty again after you're done. So rain poncho can be used for this. Always have water with you, so a metal water canteen. Um, you can use one of these canteens to warm water up, but in my bucket bag I always have a copper pot because it's big. It's a little bit bigger, not that much heavier, but conducts the heat better. So you need less fuel. Something to heat water. You can have a campfire. You can just have one of those emergency German cookers or just a gas stove. Doesn't matter as long as you have something to get water warm for basic hygiene. This could be especially handy during the winter. If you, yeah, everyone would say, but if you're a real man, you can do it in the cold. Let me say this: every person who says this is either crazy or they have never spent a mid-winter outside doing a wash up. So yeah, it can get really cold and it could get your morale down if you have to do such things. Always have a way to filter water. Yeah, my standard filter. A little email cup just to do some other things with. I'll tell you within a minute why. Toothbrush, toothpaste, soap without glycerin, or with glycerin I mean. So this can be used to wash yourself and also do your laundry. So this is a multifunctional soap in that regard. Have a little mirror and of course a multi-tool, especially one where you have a little scissor on top of it. So yeah, and of course the shamak will be very important as a towel. So those are the things that you need to have the basic hygiene, and it's something that you also use for other stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. Always make your gear multifunctional. So yeah, and also durable. That's also something very important. So let's start with it. How do you start basic hygiene? Let's first start with body hygiene and how you do it in the field. First of all, like I said, spread out your your rain poncho so you have something nice, clean, and also dry to sit on so you can do your stuff. Like you can see, my bug out bag is on top of the poncho. All my gear fits on top of it. I have even plenty of room to just even lay down on in case I need some more room, or you have some other stuff that is near. Don't make the mistake that some people make, and that is if you're going to heat up water, don't put the cooker, gas stove, heater, or whatever you use to heat up water, don't put it on the poncho or tarp, because it can melt. It can get so hot that it will start to melt, deform, or even burn through your rain poncho, and that's the last thing you want, that there are holes in your poncho. So always put these outside of the rain poncho. Um, First of all, basic hygiene. The first thing is keep your hair short. Very important. Long hair uh, can get more oils, can get more dirt in it, and it will start to get more chance to get bugs and insects or fleas or louse that could infect and transmit disease or infections. But I don't have that problem because I'm starting to bald, so for me it's not that problem. But keep your hair short. That's also why I say you need a multi tool with a scissor. So in the field you can just scissor your hair short. You can trim your beard. Also the reason why you need a mirror so you can just do some basic hygiene. Keep your beard hair short, and yeah, that's just basic stuff. For all the people who say, you don't need a scissor to cut your hair. You just do it with a knife, like Rambo. But it's more difficult than you think, and you need a real sharp knife for it. And another thing, problem that could arise with it, if you're going to use a knife to shave your beard like a real man would do it, then you have chances that you will cut yourself, get an infection, and you will die of disease. So yeah, all the people who say that you have to shave with your survival knife, don't believe them. Just keep it simple. Just a small scissor like this. It will take a little bit longer, but it's more safer than doing it that way. Alright, so you kept your hair short for basic hygiene. Just perhaps wash it a little bit with water, but also don't wash it too much because the skin and the hair, they have a natural kind of oil. So if you wash it too much, you will lose it and you will get more chances for diseases. So of course you heat up some water. It doesn't. You can boil the water till and let it a little bit cool down till it's on the right temperature to start washing, so that you don't have boiling water. But it's also important you have um, drink clean water. So you can speed up the process by using a water like here my standard water filter, but that's more handy if you're near a water source. Uh, what you also can do if you have water sources that are a little bit more questionable, you can have one of those purification tablets, put them in the water, 20 minutes, and you have clean water. And yeah, you can heat it up without really boiling it. But boiling is usually the best method. It will take more fuel, so that's something that you need to watch in the situation itself. Will you spend more fuel, or do you use other chemical means, or just a real water filter to get clean water? And is the question, do you really need warm water? In summertime it's no problem, but in during winter a little bit warm water could be very welcome, and also good for the morale to have something warm. Next thing is you can use water, but I would say if you're going to a restaurant and you get one of those wet wipes, or you have some extras of those alcohol wipes, they are very light. Keep them in your bug packet, and you can just wash your face, your body, your armpits, your crotch, all the areas that could get dirty, moist, warm, and start to and have a high chance of getting fungus and all those nasty stuff. You can wipe it away with wet wipes or alcohol wipes, and yeah, those are very light, but these will get these will be blended. How do we say this? Paris playlist that you're out of them, that you have used them all. So I always advise get the soap with glycerin. It's multifunctional for clothing and your body, and just wash your face. Uh, and you can use the warm water with a cup. Just wash your face a little bit. That's already a good begin. Next thing I would say, in the winter time it's more handier, but it doesn't really need. It just has to be clean water. Just fill a cup with water. Have some toothpaste. Start using it. Clean your teeth. What I would not recommend is don't use how you call that stuff, like Listerine. Wash mouthwash. You know that stuff that they use, that they say they kill all the bacteria in your mouth. But the problem is you kill all the bacteria in your mouth, also the good bacteria. So that way your the bad bacteria can get back quicker and infest even more because the good bacteria that would hold those bacteria are now dead. So mouthwash is a big no-no in my opinion. Just get some toothpaste, a toothbrush, and use the mug that you usually use for your tea or for your coffee. Uh, yeah, I know some people will say the tea will start to taste like toothpaste or soap, but hey, that's the thing about survival. It's called survival. It's not glamping. Yeah, so you wash your face, you brush your teeth. Next thing you do is take your top off because we work from bottom to top, from top to bottom. Take your clothes off and just start to wash with the warm water and the glycerin soap. Especially just going quick around it with perhaps with a little wipe to save on water so that you do not have to splash on yourself. You can use some just a small wipe or something or something like a towel and just start to go around your body. Just warm water, a little bit soapy. You don't have to rinse it off really. Just wipe it off. Especially the armpits. Those are an easy place where things can grow and you can get infections and other unpleasant things that could happen. So yeah, you wash your top of your body. You put your clothing back on the top, and then you can go lower. I will not show it because of YouTube policies. You open your pants, put them on your knees, and you start to wash your groin, your backside. Of course, I would say do your backside last because yeah, some poop might maybe in there, so that you do not wash all the poop on your lower body. So that's something you need to watch out for. Just wash it all. Put your pants back on, and then that's also the reason why the rain poncho is handy. You can just take your boots off, change your sock. That's one of the more important things for feet to stop problems from developing. Change your socks with dry socks regularly. Hang your socks to dry, or you can wash them like I'm going to show you within a few minutes. Just let them dry on the side of your bucket bag while you're walking, and then you can start to change those socks always with the used ones. So you'll always have dry socks and no warm, moist will be there for things to grow in. Wash your foot. Foot powder is something that the army often use, and yeah, it depends on the situation. It could be handier in some climates, but I personally, if you just change your socks regularly, wash your feet, let them rest and dry. If you're going on a break, just let them air out a little bit. That will prevent most of the problems. But I'm not really a fan of foot powder. And also it's also for chemical poisoning reasons that I'm not a really fan of it, although it could be safe, but it depends on the product, on the time, on the climate. But just change your socks. That's what I'm talking about. You put your boot bags on, so you're now totally washed. You can go on for the rest of the day, but you still need to wash your clothes. So what can you do with your poncho? You can have one of those foldable buckets, fill them up with water, and take your clothes. But oh yeah, and one more thing that I'm forgetting to say: your shamak you can use food to dry yourself off, and yeah, that's also that I have forgotten to say. So stupid of me. As you can see, the corner of my poncho, I have put some logs, 3 logs together. They form a triangle, and now they are all. And now this is actually a bucket. So you can take the rest of your warm water, put it here in. You can take your soap with glycerin, which can also be used for laundry. You take something that you need to wash, and you can just put a little bit, put some shivers of soap, start to mix it, so you get soapy water. And in case you have some tough spots, you can take the soap and you can start to rub really hard in it, and that way you can get the spot a little bit more loose. You put it inside of the improvised bucket of your rain poncho, and you just start to. Your arm is the washing machine, as you say. You just start to shake it, rinse it, and repeat as much as necessary to get mud and other stains out of your clothing or your socks or jackets or whatever the case is dirty. You wash it, you let it, you wring it out, of course. And there's two things you can do if you have the time, like during a shelter. If you're in a shelter for the night, you can start to hang this on a piece of rope, paracord, or on the cables of beneath your top of your tent. Hang it, hang it for to dry, and the next morning when you wake up, you put it in your bag. Or if you do not have the time because you're on a bug out, you need to keep moving forward, you have no time to spend hours to wait till the clothing is dry, you can hang your clothing on the side of your bug out bag while you're wearing it and walking, and that way till the next stop or shelter time, it probably would be dry because of all the wind. And if it rains, that's not really a good option. So I would say if you have something to dry, take the opportunity. If you're going to sleep in a shelter, hang it on top of the shelter and let it dry there. Paracord or something that I have not shown you, by the way. So those are things that you can do. You can. Some people say you can also wash your clothing near a river, but near a river depends also what kind of a river are we talking about, because some rivers can have some. There are some chemical. Well, how do you say this? Not poisoning, but chemical contamination, because the river is connected to some industrial places. Perhaps because of a war, there is risk of chemical contamination of the water. Some animals could poop in the water and it could be there. Running water is your best option, but do not do this in still water where bacteria, parasites, and other pathogens could be laying dormant. So running water, I would take the risk, but not with silent, still water. So that's also why I say this is more. In my opinion, this is more safer and more handier. Take the corner, take 3 logs, make an improvised bucket here in the corner of your rain poncho, get some clean water, and then that way you will always sure that no pathogens will get into your clothing, and if you have a wound, it will start to infect. Just basic field hygiene. So as you can see, this does not require much room. You can do it on a way that is comfortable, clean, because you're off the ground. And of course, it could be more handier if you're out of the wind inside of a building or beneath a tarp. So that could make it more handier if there is bad weather during your bug out. So this was just a video. If you have any tips, tricks, or hacks that you can do for field hygiene to lessen the weight or the use of some certain stuff, or another way to wash your clothing if you have experience, because some other militaries in the world have other ways or procedures to do these things. So I'm always interested to learn from other people how they do it, or if they had some other hacks or tricks for it. So let me know in the comments, please. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers!